Hi everyone, nice to see you again. I often see jokes in American TV shows about Chinese kids being so good at math.
But when you're a kid, when your parents tell you can't do something, what do? You rebel, right? So when I was 14 years old, I stole my brother's calculator. I stole Roy Rogers' calculator. And I locked myself in my room and I started rebelling. I started doing math homework.
And I've always wondered if it's true. It wasn't until I saw math problem from American middle school that I realized it might actually be a fact. So today, let me tell you what makes Chinese children so good at math. In my opinion, there are three main reasons. Reason 1. Multiplication table. The multiplication table is a quick mnemonic for calculating the result of multiplying two integers within 10. This is the table. This multiplication table is a part of the curriculum for second grade math in China, and every student must learn it and memorize it. The combinations are not very many, as you can see, so it's not particularly difficult to memorize. When we recite it, we omit the multiplication sign and the equal sign. For example, 5 times 9 equals 45. We recite it as 5945, 5945. It doesn't feel very smooth in English. I don't know what it's like in other languages, but at least in Mandarin it's quite catchy, almost like a jingle. For example, 6 7 42 7 8 56 8 9 72, which makes it easier to remember to some extent. For Chinese students, these multiplication problems are not problems, but more like calculation tools. And the proficiency of Chinese people in multiplication table has reached a point where it has become part of their instinct, like breathing. Even if Chinese people forget their own names, they won't forget the multiplication table. Of course, this table also has extensions, such as square numbers within 20, which are also essential to memorize. And the multiplication of two-digit numbers and single-digit numbers, such as 19 times 6 equals 114, which every Chinese student can calculate in 3 seconds. Also based on the multiplication table. So multiplication table gives Chinese students a particularly strong ability in basic calculations. Reason 2. Tons of practice. Mathematics is the most emphasized subject in Chinese basic education, so students are forced to do a lot of practice in math. Students have at least one math class every day, and each class introduces new concepts. To reinforce these concepts, teachers assign a large number of practice problems daily. Through these exercises, students became familiar with different applications of the concepts. For example, in the first grade of elementary school, after teaching the method of addition and subtraction between two-digit numbers, teachers give students hundreds of addition and subtraction problems every day. The solution method for these hundreds of problems is exactly the same, only the numbers are different. Almost every student can instantly answer these basic arithmetic questions. So you might see some Chinese people in the supermarket. When the total is like $67, they will give the cashier $72. They can instinctively calculate in an instant how many more coins they need to give to get back a $5 note. However, electronic payments have taken away this trivial joy. So the second reason why Chinese students are good at math is hard work. Reason 3. Chinese math curriculum is more difficult. I once looked at an American high school math test and was surprised by its simplicity. Because in my opinion, all of it was part of Chinese elementary school curriculum. Then I realized that we might have raised the difficult level of our math curriculum. This is to say, we start learning what Americans learn in middle school when we are in elementary school, and what Americans learn in high school when we are in middle school, and some of what Americans learn in university when we are in high school. So you might find immigrant students from China who have fun superior math abilities. There's an even crazier phenomenon in China where almost every student is sent to training classes, mathematical Olympiad. In these classes, they encounter extremely difficult problems that require higher level knowledge to solve. I know some students who start learning high school math in middle school and university math in high school. And when asked why, they say it helps them solve problems and compete in math contests. So the Chinese transfer student in your middle school might have already mastered some of the math knowledge taught in American university. Isn't that crazy? So, the third reason why Chinese students are good at math is that they learn earlier and more. Alright, now you understand why Chinese students are good at math. It's not because they are smarter or have genetic predisposition, but because they spend more time on it. Just like the basketball team spends more time on basketball. Alright, that's it for today. See you next time. Bye bye.